What is up, Cahir Club, and a warm welcome back to another CahirLIVE live stream. How goes it? I hope everybody has been having a wonderful start to their week. It is Monday. Boo. But I hope everybody's Mondays have gone well, all the same. Because it can be a Monday, but it can be a good Monday. What's that next to the Windows logo? Oh, that's the fuck. Okay, yeah, it's the AI thing. They made that very flashy. I don't like that. But yeah, hello Brugger and hello Rob, how goes it today? Today we are back on with the shiny triple segment Dudunsparce hunt. Last stream, we got a lot of Dunsparce. We got a lot of those sparse. We got none of the Dunsparce though. We only got regular sparse. Little bit disappointing. Yeah, we are at 110. 110 sparse at the moment, which is a lot. I'll be honest, that's a lot of Dunsparce. But I think we should hop into it and get our shiny hunts on. Dawdling, there's no good in dawdling. We aren't gonna dawdle. We're gonna hop right on in. Maybe pick up a couple Duduns early dawn. Yeah, I've got a squad here today to bear witness to the hunts of the shinies. Alright, let's get a tofu. Let's get a salty. Let's get a sour. Let's get a VV pick. Yeah, not bad here. Apparently had a Wagyu beef from a Japanese place for dinner tonight. You don't think it was? Interesting. Why is there what? Where does the uncertainty come from, may I ask? Alright, let me just flunk. Okay, that was a botched final of the tofu tower. Failed it. Devastating. But yeah, no, things have been good in this corner. What? Huh? What even just happened there? I saw Miraidon's leg going through the table. And then nothing else. Does this seem more sparkly than normal? I feel like this looks more sparkly than normal. Maybe I just don't pay enough attention. Who knows? Maybe it is more sparkly than normal for a good reason. Because we're going to get the triple segment today. From what you heard, Wagyu almost melts in your mouth when you bite. It was a bit chewier than you expected. Nice cut though, but not Wagyu. Ah, fair. That's understandable. Alright. Yeah, I have no idea what just occurred there. So, I'm not going to question it. You know? I could be like, what happened there? But no, I'm not going to be. Alright. Let's zoom out. Bada boom, bada bing. And... yeah. No sparse yet. Honestly, like, I feel like I've said this before, but flying... the flying mechanic is so cool. I love it. You know? Like, I was a little bit skeptical at it at first. And I'll stand by the fact it could be a bit easier to control, you know? Because, like, if you start going left, and then, like, move the camera around, you just kind of change direction. And I don't really know what's going on with that. But something's going on with it. But, like... I do enjoy it as a mechanic. It is fun. It makes it easy to get around. This one is so small, so tiny. This one's so large. Okay, it goes. It was just a very small Dunsparce, and I found that funny. But I guess the large Dunsparce didn't want to be involved in that, which fair enough, I guess. Which. Fair enough. Alright. But yeah, let's... Hi, how are you? I was like gonna say, hopefully we get an early one. And we did! We did get an early one, in fact. That is exactly what just happened. We got an early one. You know what? I'm not gonna complain about that. Good start indeed. Hopefully that good start continues. Okay, we're at 111. That is a good number. 111 is a great number. So hopefully great things come from it. Like maybe a third segment. I should check the IVs on these guys. Like, what if I've gotten a 6 IV Dunsparce and I don't even know it? You know? Like, I've got 111 of these fuckers. What's, like, the statistics if you're getting, like, a 6 IV Pokemon? Probably not high. You aren't in a good box. You need to be in this box. Are those IVs? Is the yellow IVs? I feel like the yellow might be IVs. What do you have up, Puff? I feel like you've got, like, close to 6 IVs. Maybe not. What's the IV checker? Because there's only 2 graphs. I don't know. I don't know. Or is it like only in the Pokemon box? Oh yeah, because there is a checker. Wait, no, I'm in the Pokemon box. Was I? Maybe? View stats. Judge. Here we go. So I was in it, but I don't think I was in the right page. Fantastic HP. I don't know if that means, yeah, best... Is that max special attack and max HP? Or am I, like, crazy? Okay, it tells you when it's hyper-trained. Yeah, best is max. My jumping gun has 2 perfect IVs. Is that what's going on there? Or is it like it could be like 30? Good for jumping gun. The gun was not jumped. Or maybe it was. Because jumping gun is a frog. Goes with being 6 IV is extremely low. Might want to go lottery low. I do like the lottery. You know, I'm a lottery fan. I sometimes think I should enter the lottery. And then I don't. You know. I feel like entering the lottery wouldn't be successful. I don't know, I always find it funny because people are like, oh yeah, you have a higher chance of getting hit by a meteorite than winning the lottery. And it's like, has anyone in human history died by meteorite? You know? Like, has anybody in the history of humanity died from being killed by a meteorite? Like, by being hit by one. Because, like, I mean, I guess when you're looking at all of human history, the answer becomes a probably, you know, one probably, like, detonated above the atmosphere and killed everything within, like, a 80, Someone almost died to a meteorite while she was sleeping. See, that's almost. That's almost. One guy in Iran before you were born. Okay, it sounds like we got a couple of people who have been hit by meteorites. But let me put that into perspective for you. More than a couple of people have won the lottery. The lottery has been won by a multitude of people, actually. In fact, I would wager in the last decade more people have won the lottery than have been killed by being hit by a meteorite. So it always confuses me when that statistic is brought up, because, like, is that even correct? Like, where does that statistic come from? Because, like, you could argue that, like, more people are putting their hat in the ring for the lottery. But that's untrue, because everyone's technically put their hat in the ring to get hit by a meteorite. Like, everyone on Earth is technically gambling on being hit by a meteorite at any second. But also, like, you're technically gambling every second to, like, do other things. I can't think of a low odds situation. Technically, every time you sit down, you're gambling on all your atoms going through the chair, but that's not going to happen. You know? Like, or maybe there's been meteor rains in the past. I feel like if there was a meteor rain, then a lot of people would have died, because, that would have been a very big problem. Like, most space debris burns up in the atmosphere. For so much to not be burning up in the atmosphere, I feel like there'd have to be a big chunk there somewhere that would cause a lot more than just a little bit of damage. Apparently in 1490, about 10,000 people were killed then. Well, there's the statistical error then. That's why. That's why you're more likely, because of Meteorite Gorg, who died 10,000 times to a meteorite in 1490. That answers our question. Alright. But yeah, glad we sorted that one. I still find it a funny statistic to quote. Like, it's like saying you're more likely to, like, die... Like, fundamentally, it's like trying to say, like, oh, you're more likely to, like, die in, like, a natural disaster, like any other natural disaster, than win the lottery. Because, like... I feel like the issue there isn't the winning the lottery or not, it's the getting hit by a natural disaster. Which... Wait, do meteorites and asteroids count as natural disasters? Well, it doesn't happen as often now because we can redirect the bastards. I mean, like... That was a last year thing we did. Like, we figured that out last year. I don't think we've redirected any other meteorites as of late. You know? Like, I think that was like a one-time thing to see if we could do it. Hopefully it won't have to happen again. Because if it has to happen again, that means that, like, you know, there's a threat. But I guess you are right in the theory that it would happen less often because we have the technology. Dominic, hello, how goes it? I hope your week's gotten off to a good start. You'd say yes. I mean, like, it does seem like that's the logical answer. Because they are technically natural, but does natural... What is the definition of natural? I'm gonna Google definition of natural. Definition of natural. Existing or derived from nature. I guess? Yeah, you know what? I feel like you could count an asteroid as natural. It formed naturally when, like, the solar system formed. You know? I mean, it probably formed naturally more like a few million years later, when the planet it was trying to become got absolutely fucking decimated by another planet that was on the same orbital path. Nature can exist out of the planet, right? I mean, yeah, I was just trying to check that, like, it wasn't just, like, a planet Earth specific thing, you know? Because, like, I wasn't gonna assume nature didn't just exclusively apply to the Earth. Or things that happen on the Earth. If that made sense. Like, I guess you could have, like, a natural disaster on, like, Mars if there was an earthquake. But is something coming from outside hitting you natural? Should we call it localized nature? Yeah, that would work. Technically is localized. Alright. But yeah, I guess I guess an asteroid smacking us and doing all that. Probably a natural disaster. So keep that in mind. If we ever get hit by a meteorite, make sure to call it a natural disaster. Because it is. Alright. I feel like that was one of those recently. Was that a shiny? I hope that wasn't a shiny. I looked at that and that looked kind of pink. But like, when it's far away, it's kind of hard to tell, you know? Like, sometimes my gut misfires and it's like, is that a shiny? And then it isn't. I'm sure it'll be even harder to tell on your screens, though, I'm gonna be honest. I feel like there's a thing to spot. It's like, I have my whole monitor. You guys have to look at the overlay. It was not. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Rob. Good to hear. You love to hear that I did not miss a shiny. Like, you have to wonder how many you might have, you know, in, like, this game. Because, like, in Legends Arceus, it goes to BAM! And you're like, oh shit, a shiny, you know. And this one, you just kind of have to keep your eyes peeled. Again, I feel like it's fine to not have the, jingle. IMHO. But I think they should add the Let's Go. I think they should add the Let's Go, like, little sparkles from the feet, you know? Like, in Let's Go, like, shiny, like, sparkles a little bit from the ground. And that's how you tell if there's a shiny in Let's Go, is that? One of the ways. Obviously, there's shiny in the overworld and everything. You're on the big screen, you can see all? Hell yes. Kabig. I might have to do some Let's Go shiny hunting again at some point, honestly. Who knows, maybe I will end up doing Let's Go shiny hunting next year if we get a, if we get a new Let's Go game. No, I don't think we will. My hot take is, it's probably unlikely. I don't think it was received all that well, and it was very much like, it was a game made specifically to get, like, a casual audience back into Pokemon, from what I understand. From what's apparent, you know? Like, it had the catching style of Pokemon Go. Like, it had the catching style of Pokemon Go, specifically to, like, take people who'd played Pokemon Go and be like, look, you played this game. Oh, there we go. Didn't miss this one. In relative size, almost a human size, you're very big. Crit catch. Alright. Alright. To the box with you. Boing. Alright, I need to indent. That's 112. We're, like, settling into well over odds at this point. Lovely. I think just the worrying thing is that, like, theoretically, it could be like 1,000, you know? I could be here for the next 10 years hunting this Dudunsparce. And there's, like, nothing, no real reason that couldn't happen, other than the odds are low, you know? Like, if I didn't get it, and 1,000 shinies, while that would be unlikely, could happen. Because, like, 1 in 100 is, like, 10 in 1,000, when you think about it. You know, I'm starting to freak myself out. I'm gonna stop that. I don't want to spend 10 years hunting this thing. Personally, I would rather not spend that long doing this. In my opinion, that sounds like a while. No thank you. I need to look into that alternative method of getting Triple Segment Dudunsparce. Maybe I'll try after stream today, if I don't distract myself. Which I probably will, I'm good at that. I'm glad I at least tried to find the live reactions widget, even though there was none. I still wish I could find one though, it'd be nice to have them appear on screen. Maybe I'll have to look again. But it feels like in terms of, like, streaming site, Twitch is, like, the one with all the resources around it. YouTube is very lacking in that regard, which is a shame. Alright. Something I should have put some Vaseline on my lip before stream. It's like chapping, but it's done the thing where it, like, splits, where it, like, rips, you know? Where you get, like, a rip in your lip. Poetry. Not a nice feeling. Has it even been getting that cold lately? I feel like it's gotten a bit colder again, but, like, I feel like the kind of, like, springish vibes we're getting in the UK here aren't really going yet. But I feel like this has happened for the past few years, as we, like, kind of get, like, a kind of, like, pseudo-spring. Where, like, nature's, like, trying to, like, fake out all the plants, like, ooh, springtime? And then we get snow and it's, like, in April. And then spring finally starts. Oh, that's a thought. It's Pancake Day tomorrow, isn't it? Anybody having any pancakes? Anybody got any pancake-related plans? Shrove Tuesday on the 13th, and then Valentine's Day on the Wednesday. But I'll be streaming on Valentine's Day, so I can ask you Valentine's Day-related questions on Valentine's Day, capiche? Capiche. But yeah, I might do pancakes. I don't normally do pancakes, but, like, I've not had pancakes in a bit too long, you know? I feel like it would be wise to have pancakes. 8 minutes! We've still got 8 minutes left. I was thinking it'd be less, but I guess not. I guess not. You had some on Sunday? Probably won't do many tomorrow, though. That's understandable. But yeah, it's been a while since I probably had pancakes, now that I think about it. I think I had some, like, kind of more, like, storyboard-style-y ones. But not, like, proper fresh. Proper fresh ones. Alright. But yeah, like, what was it called? I feel like I was gonna, like, get a thought out of my brain, but then I didn't. Alright. Pan American style bacon and maple syrup. Ooh, very nice. Was that specifically for Pancake Day, or was that just because you were feeling like it? Right. Right. Getting to this early is actually pretty lucky, because we're, like, still at the beginning. Hungry and thought it was coming up, so got some delivered. Ah, understandable. Makes sense. Makes sense. Right. I don't know. I don't often get stuff delivered myself. The issue is like, we're in a bit of an iffy area when it comes to, like, delivery. Which means if you do get something delivered on, like, Deliveroo here, it'll probably be a bit cold by the time it arrives, you know? It won't be as warm as you'd like. Which is a shame. So eating out becomes more efficient than takeout. Well, than Deliveroo. Takeout, actually? Takeout's generally fine, you know? You can generally have takeout and it works a-okay. There's a kebab place nearby that does good burgers. I know it's, like, not technically the correct option. But their burgers are really nice. I'm a massive fan of the burgers of that place. It sometimes happens here too, but just have to grab it in the less busy times, then things are right hot. Oh, that's a fair point. That's a fair point. Maybe I'll consider that next time. Issue is, of course, when you're eating, you're going to want to eat at around dinner time. Unless you're having, like, a lunch. But, no, I'm not much of a big lunch guy, you know? Like, I very rarely have, like, a bigger lunch. I guess you don't have to have a bigger lunch, though. You could, like, get Greg's takeout. In fact, I have. I have gotten Greg's Deliveroo once. Wasn't at mine specifically, but it was still Greg's Deliveroo. Right. I love a good bit of Greg's, honestly. I don't know, I've recently been having more Greg's, you know? Not like loads of Greg's, I'm not talking like a weekly occurrence, but like an occasional helping to of some Greg's. And I'm starting to buy the hype behind it, you know? Because I never really had it when I was younger for some reason. I guess I didn't really have many takeouts at all when I was younger. So like, it never really kind of happened that often, but they do good sausage rolls, you know? Like, that's like the stereotype of what they do. But they do. They do. Those sausage rolls go hard. And as a sausage roll fan, same, usually work through lunch, so no break, lunch break for you. But otherwise you like, you just like lose focus and find it hard to get back into the zone. Oh, that's understandable, that's understandable. Yeah, no, I don't know, I still have lunch. I still have lunches, you know? But I just tend to have like a more like casual lunch size, you know? I tend to have like a sandwich and some crisps, more or less. Sandwich, some crisps and yogurt, and that's more or less my lunch. Unless I like go out for Greg's or something, in which case I have a bit more, but like I don't like it when lunch is like, having lunch as like the main meal of the day is so weird, because you get to dinner time and your body's like, I feel like I should be eating a lot here, but like I don't want to eat a lot, so you just kind of end up like snacking throughout the evening, and it's like, no, what the fuck is up with that, you know? Like, it's so weird, because you just, like, your body's like, I feel like I should be really hungry at the moment, but I'm not. So I just end up, like, having, like, a few just weird snacky bits, and then my body's like, yeah, I guess? I don't know, I don't... Big lunch and small dinner, not a fan. Sometimes you treat yourself to a Subway. I used to love Subway. But I've become angered. I've become angered at Subway. Subway have incurred my wrath. They've stopped doing brown sauce. You know? Like, I saw the warning signs. The writing was on the wall. You know? I always have brown sauce in my Subway because I'm a massive brown sauce fan. Always have been, always will be a massive brown sauce fan. But I went in there the other week, and I was like, yeah, can I have some brown sauce on that? And they were like, no, we don't have any. But yeah, like, the past, like, year or so I've been going there, like, they've not had, like, one of their little, like, bottles of brown sauce. They've just had, like, a regular bottle of HP sauce, you know? So, like, I could kind of tell that, like, they were kind of phasing it out. It's just, today, not today, like, the other week was the day, you know? That was, like, the day they did it, and... Why? You know? Why brown sauce? Why? I fucking love brown sauce. And I just had no sauce on the Subway, and it just wasn't... It just didn't work. It wasn't good. It was a pitiful, pitiful dinner without, like, lunch without that brown sauce. You always go with Chipotle Southwest. That stuff rocks though. Ah, understandable. Yeah, no, I do occasionally have spicy sauce. I like spicy sauce goes well. And I like spicy food, to be clear. I'm not some kind of like, oh, spice. No, love a good bit of spicy food. But I prefer, like, HP sauce I find goes best, you know. Oh, sandwich gone. Sandwich gone. Which means you know what time it is. No, like this. There we go. Biggest spice I've tried? I'm gonna be honest, I couldn't name it off the top of my head. The one that sticks with me the most is, when we got, like, some of the spiciest options at, like, buffalo wings from when we were in the... When I went to Disney World, we got Buffalo Wild Wings from like, one of, like, the big chains. I think it might just be called Buffalo Wild Wings, I'm not sure. To be clear, I was, like, 12, so I don't know if I'd react this way in today. But I remember that we had, like, one of the spicier options, and I genuinely couldn't speak after having it. But I was younger then. I feel like I could probably take it now, you know. That's just the most memorable spice experience I have. Right. I don't know, I'm not like a spice chaser, you know? I know, like, some people sit down at a restaurant and are like, I want the spiciest thing you have on the fucking menu, you know? And, like, I can respect that. I'm not gonna slate that. But me, myself, if a food is spicy, that's awesome. I'll eat it, that's great, you know? But it's gotta be a food I want to eat in the first place. Like, I won't go out of my way to take the spiciest option. It's just if a dish is spicy, I'll be like, yeah, that's cool, you know? I'm gonna take a drink quickly. You did try the Carolina Reaper sauce and almost died. Ouch. That sounds unideal. I always like those stories where people realize their roommates or, like, people in their office are stealing food from them, so they, like, put, like, spice in it, specifically to spite them, so they try to eat it, and, like, bada bing, bada boom, they got a mouthful of Carolina Reaper. I always find it interesting, though. Like, some of these stories are probably fake. We'll be real. It's on the internet. Some of these stories are probably fake, but, like, I feel like there's got to be a certain percentage that aren't. And it seems like a pretty common occurrence for the people to get mad at the person who made the food for it not being, like, up to their standards, as if they didn't steal it. And that's always the thing that pisses me off the most about those stories. It's like, you've been stealing their food? You don't get to be picky about it. Like, you know you're thieving. You know you're stealing from them. They're not going to tell you shit. That's their food you're eating. If you didn't want to, like, open a goodie bag and get a mouthful of spice. Then again, maybe all the stories where they react like that are the fake ones. But I don't know, that's like the weird thing with the internet these days. It's like, not even these days, it's always been. It's like, when someone tells a story, there's like a solid chance they just made that up in the shower. you know? But I find the internet a better place to deal with when... Not necessarily, like, taking everything at face value, you know? But, like... accepting the stories as a form of entertainment. Rather than any, like... Like, it doesn't matter if, like, that one Reddit Am I the Arsehole post is fake. Because, like... even if it was real, what would you do about it, you know? Like, even if it was real, like, unless it's a specific scenario where, like, you know, the police need to be called or some shit. Yeah, like, let's say the police need to get involved in, like, a story, then, like, uh-oh. But, like, otherwise, like... if they're fake, like, oh well, I'm still going to, like, enjoy it at day's end, you know? I'm still gonna enjoy the read. It's not like my experience reading the story changes upon the knowledge of if it's real or not. And it's not like whether or not it is real matters to me personally. I've had some uni stories from where you were staying. They're a little on the crazy side people-wise. As in, you've heard some, or you've got some? Alright. Got some old? Now I'm a little bit interested. I love a good crazy story, you know? Who knows, maybe you could get some Minecraft parkour, a text-to-speech bot, and a TikTok account. Like, I find it funny that Reddit Am I the Arsehole is like this evergreen source of content. Cause like, mid-2010s, people read it out, you know, people read it out to you. People read those stories out to you. Then like, as like it kind of got into like 2017, 2018, all of a sudden like, all of the stories were like narrated by like text-to-speech bots. Instead of like actual people. And then like as TikTok became like a prevalent platform and stuff, it changed so that there was like Minecraft parkour and Subway Surfers in the background to like keep attention going, like while the story was told to you. It's like people were like less likely to click off. Because they could passively listen to the story while watching the gameplay. I feel like people always kind of like gesture to that kind of content as what's rostering people's attention. I feel like that's not, because that's like talking with your friends while playing video games. Or like having a discussion while watching like the football or some shit, you know? Oh, where you lived, there was a girl who lived with us for a bit, who would steal a lot of shit. She'd stay up there all the time. Sometimes she'd randomly scream at 2 AM. She called the police! And ambulance on herself. And eventually she got kicked out. We went up there and there were just stacks of rubbish bags. Oh. Average university roommate. I don't know, I say that. I have not been to university. I have no degree. Womp womp. But I feel like, to be fair, like, an average university roommate you're probably not going to tell stories about, you know? Like, if you just get to, like, have a regular person as a roommate, you're probably not gonna, like, tell people about them, you know? Because they're a regular, functional human being. So it makes sense that you hear more about the dysfunctional ones, but... And she left a ton of shit behind. Needless to say, we lost our deposit. Oh, yeah, no, that's not nice. It's gonna be chucked out, but you did salvage a copy of 1000 Year Door on GameCube from in there. Yo! I guess all stories have silver linings. Did you enjoy it? Alright. That remake's coming out pretty soon, isn't it? You have 2 copies now! Hell yeah, you could play, like, both of them at the same time. Not sure why you'd want to do that, but you could. Oh, cat has settled down. Sorry, she came up into my room as I started streaming, and is now just vibing on the... now is sleeping on the bed. As she do. Right. It is funny because she kind of, like... Sometimes she'll go straight into, like, the like, hole of fur. You know, Missy's a black cat. So, she, like, kind of curls up and just becomes, like, the void, you know? You know how it is. Like, sometimes she'll just go straight into that. But she'll often, like, have phases. She'll often loaf for a bit, you know? She'll often loaf on the bed for a bit. And just sit there for a bit. And then she'll start nodding off. And, like, her head will, like, tilt downwards onto the bed. But she's, like, snoozing. And then eventually she'll, like, curl up properly. And then, you know, the curl up is, like, properly comfortable when, like, her head is upside down. And her paw is over her face. We're not at that stage yet. To be fair, you know what? No, she sleeps in my room when I'm talking with friends often, actually. She doesn't tend to when I'm streaming. She's often downstairs at this time. But, guess she... To be fair, she, like, as I said the other week, the bedding on the bed at the moment... yeah, the bedding on the bed at the moment is, her favourite. It's her favourite bedding. So maybe she's just making the most of it. Your dog does that? Hell yeah. I always find it so funny when they put, like, a little paw over their face, you know? It's like, are you hiding? Genuinely one of the cutest things an animal can do. Alright. Boing. Flop. Alright. One of the other cutest things is, like, when they're dreaming and they're twitching a little bit. I'm not sure how true this is. So maybe I'm just spreading misinformation when I say this. But hopefully not. But I heard apparently, like, at least dogs can't, like, because they don't have imaginations, they dream about stuff they've been through, you know? Like, their dreams are just straight up memories, which I find interesting. It wouldn't surprise me if the same is true for cats. So that's why you often hear that dogs dream of their owners, because they often just dream of their memories. I wonder how far the memories go back. Like, if, like, a dog had, like, one owner, and then they got a new one, would they still dream of the old owner sometimes? I mean, dogs do tend to react well to people they've not seen in a while, so... Right. Sometimes you just gotta get a bit more comfortable on the chair. Capiche? Capiche. Comfortable table. Okay. Wait, how much time is left on this? 19 minutes, okay. For some reason thought that was gonna be more, but I guess not. Not more, less. Probably good. We've not got a shiny this round yet, eh? Let's get one of those. Let's get one of them bad boys. Find the sparse. Alright. The one, like, branded meme I've been finding funny lately is the one that's like when you're at a party and your phone shows you like a slideshow of your dog and then they leave to go to be with their dog. And like, I was like, you know what? I wonder what my phone's got to show me of Missy. And it did. It had a slideshow of her. Which I was very happy to see. Most of the pics I've taken of her are of her just like curled up in a ball, as it turns out. Which is like, fair. It is funny when she curls up. Again, sometimes she's got her little paw over her face. But if you like zoom out far enough, it looks like there's a hole into the void. And that is very funny. You're hunting something 1 in 127 in a non-creature capturing game. Ah, just on the grind then. Understandable. Best of luck with it. It's interesting how many games make grinding like part of their mechanic in that way. Like part of like the system. Because like... And somehow the game is Plants vs. Zombies 2. Ah, understandable. As in like... the regular Plants vs. Zombies? Or like that shooter version they made? I feel like Plants vs. Zombies kind of went like a bit under the radar for a few years, but kind of came back a couple of years ago, like back into like the public consciousness. I wonder if that is just nostalgia or if like there's other reasons behind it. I don't know, I find it interesting how, what's it called? It seems like Fortnite is viewed pretty positively these days. Which is funny because now Minecraft is being viewed negatively again. Like, we're like back in 2015. Minecraft bad, Fortnite good. I wonder if this is going to be like a continuous cycle or not. Or is like Fortnite going to also become despised? Like, there are still people who just do the general, like, in Garden Warfare, I do. You mean the... Yeah, you mean the 2 of... The sequel to the, like, mobile game, fair enough. But yeah, like, yeah, I wonder if Fortnite's gonna fall out of favor at some point. Like, people... There are still, like, the whole Fortnite bad crowd. I have to admit, the Fortnite prop hunt does look pretty funny. Oh, there's a prop hunt in it now? That's fun, that's fun. I don't know, the main thing I saw was the Fortnite Lego stuff. Whereas most players call it Plants vs. Zombies pay to win. Ah. So would that 1 in 127 become easier to attain if you forked over cash? Right. No, actually. It's always get plants easier. Ah, fair. I don't know, I find it interesting how many games do have battle passes nowadays. Feels like that's like a very like consistent thing for games to have as a battle pass. Does Unite have a battle pass? I guess that's the only Pokemon game that would like need a battle pass. Well, not need a battle pass, but like would be likely to have a battle pass. It's just a shame because often in a battle pass, like the stuff can end up being like lost more or less. Because after it's over, like that stuff is often hard to re-get. And is often exclusive to that one battle pass, right? That's like the issue. Obviously the case isn't like that with like Genshin, because it's just like primos and shit you get. It's best when it's like in-game rewards, right? Is it? I guess it depends. Because you don't want to give players who pay money too much of an advantage. Which I guess is why it is often like just cosmetic stuff that is then never available again. Alright. And called Ranta plant is one of the only reasons you can get a plant that would take 7 weeks. Bloody hell. Alright. Alright. Yeah, less lucky this round. In the grand scheme of things. A lot less lucky. Ugh. Venue yawn. Alright. Oh yeah, they're making a new Planet of the Apes movie. I don't know, personally I like the that prequel trilogy doodad they made. I thought that was actually pretty good. But I've heard this new one has a new director, so I'm a little bit more skeptical this time around. I guess it depends on the writers and stuff, right? We'll see when it comes out at Day's End, but I hope it's good. Would be good if it were good. Bum bum. I wonder if they're like kind of building up to a remake of the original again, or if they're just... Oh, hello. Yeah, I wonder if they're building up to a remake of the original again, or if they're just like doing their own thing. This is just like a... bunch of movies kind of like set in that universe, like doing what they want with it. It makes sense if they ended up building up towards a remake, but I guess it would be like more interesting if they didn't. Would it be? Yeah, probably. Alright. Alright. Need to re-engage my brain today. Don't know, I'm feeling a bit tired. I did wake up late. That doesn't ever help. It's funny how like the human body more or less has a sweet spot of sleep that you need to like strike. And if you get too much or too little, you're still tired, you know? It's not like you can like overload on sleep and be really energized the next day. No, if you overload on sleep, you get really tired the next day all the same, you know? Which is funny but annoying. You know? Like, it'd be nice if you could, like, get, like, barely any sleep one night, and then, like, sleep for too long the next night. Well, I guess it'd be better if you could sleep too long the first night and then, like, barely get any sleep the next night. And, like, oh, because the cumulative sleep is fine, then you're fine. But no, that's not how it works. They need to, like, add DLC for that, you know? Can we get, like, a free content update to the human body that allows you to, like, stack sleep? Alright. There's a reference about, the 50k porn animation, like, it... How's there a reference in it, though? Didn't it just come out? Like, I thought it had just come out. How could they put a reference into something that happened more or less a week before it released? Oh, it's Minecraft music, not pure pause music. One animation was like last year. No, it wasn't. It was recent. It was like the beginning of this year. Wasn't it? Or did it release and go on to the... Well, yeah, but no, it only became like as big of a thing in like... It only became a thing that, you know, would be worthy of a reference like this year, more or less, right? Like, if it was last year, it was late last year. Surely after the scripting and animation had already started for the show. Would have been a bit too late to put in a reference for that, right? Alright. Alright. What was I saying? I feel like I was saying some of my train of thoughts gone. Oh well. Womp womp. Train of thought disrupted. Alright. Pokemon Day is only about 2 weeks away now, which is exciting. Yeah, no, that is 2 weeks. That's 2 weeks. Interested to see what's going to happen on it. I don't know. I'm interested to see if we even get a presents. Like, there's just a chance we don't even get a presents, right? Like, especially if we don't get a game this year, would there even be presents? I think becomes the question. But then again, there's no guarantee there won't be a game this year. I don't know. I feel like as much as I've been saying there won't, like, I'd like there to not be a game this year, you have to wonder if it was, like, if the game's already been in the pipeline, it'll probably come out this year, you know? They make Pokemon Breakfast. New mobile game that makes breakfast I wouldn't be surprised, you know. They're kind of like trying to put the Pokemon brand on like everything. Like brushing your teeth, sleeping, going on a walk. I think we will, but as you say, no guarantee. Yeah, no more or less. I wonder if we'll get that Nintendo Direct, though. I'm trying to remember if I saw the post last week that was saying there was going to be one next week, or if it was the week before, which means the person lied. The thing is they get, like, announced more or less the day before most of the time. So if there's a new thing, like, it's already on top of you. But I wonder what would even be announced in a new Direct, you know? I guess that's like the point. If there was a new Nintendo Direct, it'd be to announce stuff that we don't know is coming. But, it feels like, last year was, like, a big year for, like, most of, First was go, then smile, now sleep. What are they trying to say? Keep a healthy lifestyle, I think. Pokemon X Benedict. Honestly, would play. But yeah, like, it feels like a lot of the big Nintendo franchises have had a game within the last year or so, you know? Like, we have Mario Wonder, Tears of the Kingdom, Pikmin 4, Mario Kart DLC, what was it called? We haven't had a new Metroid. Metroid Dread was a couple of years ago. Splatoon 3 continued to get updates, and they got the DLC announced, which is coming out soon. Pokemon was your sweaty gamer butt, indeed. Not Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. That's true, but, what was it called? I feel like Smash Bros. Is the kind of thing that we only get one of on one per system of. You know, same with Animal Crossing. Like, so while those are the two other games that we haven't really got any new content for recently, there are also two games you wouldn't expect to get new content for, unless for some reason we get, like, more DLC for either of them, you know? And I wouldn't see a chance for more Animal Crossing DLC. Arguably a chance for new, like, Smash Bros. DLC, but, like, I doubt it. The new console's releasing this year. That is what the rumors are saying, but, like, you have to wonder. You're not even sure we may get. You're not even sure we may get a new Smash after this. As if, as in you like, you're not sure if Ultimate would have been the last one. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's a decent chance of the new console, but like, I don't know. For some reason, I'm not convinced. I don't know what it is. I don't know why, but I'm getting this gut feeling that, like, are we going to get a new console this year? Like, I know all the rumors are saying that, but there's no reason it couldn't be, like, a 2025 release. And, like, the president of Nintendo actively said that they're focusing on the Switch this year. So I wonder if it'll be, like, an early 2025 release. They still need to add Bandana D from Kirby to Smash Bros. Of course, of course. That's the one reason they need to keep it running. I don't know, like, I've never really been that into Smash Bros, so, like, my opinion should always be taken with a grain of salt. But, what was it called? Oh, damn, we're, like, over with this one. And we didn't get shiny. Well, Sakurai was the only one capable of, making, all that happen. I'm not sure anyone else will step up, especially since he almost died making it. Yeah, no, like, I feel like you raise a good point, but I feel like Nintendo were gonna want another Smash Bros, you know? Like, I'd be surprised if Smash Bros just went, you know? Like, it's easily one of, like, the biggest franchises Nintendo have, because it's about all of Nintendo's franchises and more. So it'd be weird to see it just entirely go. So I don't know, I doubt it will. IMHO. I don't think it will. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like if we do get another Nintendo Direct soon, it'll be about stuff releasing this year, and then there's a chance we'll get a new console announcement. But if we get a new console, I think it'll be either end of this year or beginning of next. We didn't get any shinies. We used up all of our luck on the first one. Womp womp. Alright. It's not likely, but Mario and Luigi remake. Yeah, I feel like since the company dissolved at this point, it'd be surprising if we saw another one. Yeah. Oh no, yeah, that was the reason I'm unsure we're gonna get a new game, The reason I'm unsure if we'll get a new console this year is just because, like, a lot of the big names of Nintendo have had games in the past year and a half. So I'm unsure what the console would even launch with, other than, like, maybe Metroid Prime 4 and a new Mario platformer. You got the one in 127, hell yeah, congratulations! GG, dude. What you reckon will happen is they'll just use Ultimate, and then make, like, a new story for it, or stuff handled by, Bamco Nandai. I could see that, so, like, just ports. Maybe. I could see that happening for at least, like, one console. But I feel like that couldn't happen for, like, too many in a row, right? Want. Alright. But yeah, I'm just unsure what would, like, be... I'm unsure what would launch on the console is, like, my one question. If we got a new Nintendo console, like, this year, you know? What would, like, be the launch titles? Because, like, new Zelda game unlikely. New Mario platformer very likely, to be fair. But, like, we're not going to get a new Pikmin, like, maybe a new Animal Crossing. But I feel like Animal Crossing tends to wait a few years till it launches. It doesn't launch with the system. Kirby Forgotten Land came out when? 2022? Maybe? Metroid Prime. I could see that, but I don't know. It just seems like a very, like, lineup. In considering the Switch in its first year. The Switch was kind of, like, flamed for, like, its first year, but the Switch had a good first year. Because it had Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Splatoon 2, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and then it had Mario Odyssey and Xenoblade Chronicles 2 by the end of the year. Like, that was, like, 5 very strong games out of the gate, you know? And I'm unsure, like... Kirby and the Forgotten Land was March 2022. It was that long ago? I guess maybe there could be a new Kirby game. I don't know, it seems like a very short development time, actually. If they wanted to go with, like... I'm wrong there, I think, is what I'm trying to say. Maybe if we get an early 2025 release. I'd be surprised, I reckon. It's on the cards, as Prime 1 was hailed as one of the most gorgeous-looking games of the generation. Oh, no. I agree with Metroid. I agree that Metroid is probably, like, likely to be a launch title. I'm just saying, like, a new Mario game and a new Metroid game, that's not much for a new console. Considering, like, how the Switch, like, it didn't come out the gate swinging, but it certainly built up a lot of momentum very fast. So, like, Which is why I think 2025 is like an arguably more likely year. Because 2025, early 2025, maybe late 2024, but I feel like early 2025 could be a good one. Because what we'd be likely to get, I think, is a new Mario game, Metroid. I feel like it would be the most likely scenario for a new Pokemon game to release on the new console in 2025. And then, what's it called? Likely for a new Fire Emblem. I'd say the most likely time for a new Animal Crossing would be 2025. So I feel like 2025 would be a much better year. Yeah. Kirby Star Allies, the first Kirby game on the Switch was 2018. Ah, fair. Okay, maybe. Wait, no, that was 4 years. It's not been 4 years. Next Kirby game would be 2026, especially considering Forgotten Land was open world. Wait, no, it wasn't open world, was it? It was just a 3D platformer. I'm wrong on that. They'll for sure have the 1-2 Switch equivalent, and then I guess some third-party offerings. Switch only had 4 games or so at launch. Yeah, but I mean in the first year. Sorry, I've been saying launch a lot, but I mean within the first year. Because the Switch's first year, again, Breath of the Wild out the gate. About a month later, Mario Kart 8, which was just a port, to be fair. But yeah, about a month later, Mario Kart 8. Then it had Splatoon 2. Then it had Mario Odyssey. Then it had Xenoblade Chronicles 2. So that's 5 very strong games. I might be even missing one. That's 5 very strong games out the gate. And, like, especially with, like... I don't know, I guess I just worry if the console came out this year, there wouldn't be much for it. Like, I might be entirely wrong, but I just feel like there wouldn't be enough to launch a console yet. To, like, give the console a good first year. Because the Switch had a great first year, you know? And, like, that's what, like, you're fundamentally measuring up to. Like, especially if it's got PlayStation 4 specs. I could see, like, third parties being much more interested in developing for it. But if it comes with backwards compatibility, that would tie some people over. I don't know, I feel like banking on backwards compatibility to tie some people over just isn't enough. I think, like... Because, like, why just buy a new console if you're going to buy a new console to play old games? Like... I guess I'm trying to think of, like, a situation I'd end up buying the game in. End up buying the console in, you know? Like, I'm trying to think, like, what would make me buy it. And... just right now, I guess, there's not really much on the table. So maybe I'm just, like, tainting it with my own opinion too much. But I just feel as things stand, it wouldn't end up with as strong of a launch. Yeah. Especially since Nintendo's very much gotten into the habit of letting its developers off the leash. Because that is a very good habit to get into, let me be clear, but it means games can't release as fast. Especially when the next console is going to have even, like, higher specs than the Switch. Because, like, you know, as is being proven by a lot of AAA game developers, the higher specs a system has, the more time it takes to develop games that, like, actually brush up to that kind of quality. I guess Microsoft doesn't have any Xbox Series games, and that's been out for years. Backwards compatibility is their business model. Yeah, no, that is an issue. That's why I feel like Xbox has kind of fallen out of the, what's it called? Console debates. It's just because it's kind of missed the mark. There's not as much reason to buy an Xbox these days. Like, other than, like, the Game Pass. Right. But, like, you forgot the Kirby Returns to Dreamland remake. But yeah, like, that was probably made by a different team, to be fair. I'd assume it was, at least. But, kind of brings me to the other point of, like, theoretically the console could launch with remakes, but I don't think that would work. Like, I don't think you can launch a console with remakes, you know? Like, remakes are cool, but I don't think you can make a new console float on them alone. Which is why remakes tend to be a back end of a console thing. I mean, yeah, I guess we'll just find out in the end. We'll just have to see how the lay of the land goes. I'll be very interested to see if we do get a Nintendo Direct this month. Because if we don't get a Nintendo Direct this month, that doesn't prove anything, actually. If we don't get a Nintendo Direct this month, and we do get a Pokemon Presents and there's a new game announced, I was going to be like, maybe the new console won't come out this year. But that's unlikely, because I assume that if, well, Pokemon always tend to be like a year late on the new console. PlayStation 5's killer app at launch was a remake, though. Demon's Souls. That's a fair point. That's a fair point. But I feel like that's not a good way to market a new console, by being like, look how good this game you already played is. I feel like you want to be like, look how good this new game is, you know? Because, like, people still say the PlayStation 5 has no games, you know? It's kind of stereotyped for having no games. And I doubt having a remake at launch was, like, good for its rep there. I have 1 million LP, huh? I didn't even notice. Like, yeah, the PlayStation 5 detractor is often, like, cited as having no games. I feel like that is untrue at this point. But, like, that came from somewhere, and it's from not having a good enough launch lineup. So I just worry that a new Nintendo console is going to launch. It's going to have, like, jack shit to play on it. And that's going to be its legacy again. It's gonna go the way of the PS5. I feel like some companies get too used to the idea of the new console being the event, and then forget to make a new console an event. You need to actually have games for people to play on it, you know? I feel like Nintendo played their hands well with the Switch, because people often, like, clowned on the Switch by not having that many games on it, but, like, the games it did have ended up being absolutely killer, must-have games, you know? The games that were on the Switch were like, you've got to have these. And I feel like that... Like, I don't know, I guess I'm just in that mindset, like... The Switch had a killer first year, so by the end of it, you probably would want to Switch if you didn't already have one, you know? By the end of 2017, you probably would be thinking, at least I want to play Mario Odyssey and Breath of the Wild. But, it meant a lot of people had it by the end of that year. You definitely agree at launch there wasn't much, but literally most of your mainstays over the past 2 years have been on PS5 only games. Ah, fair. I mean, yeah, no, I'm not saying it doesn't. I'm just saying, like, a lot of people still act like that's gospel. And I feel like that lackluster launch is exactly what's made everybody think that of the PS5. And I'm just... I guess I'm just aware, like... even if people say that to detract from a console, there are going to be some people who do genuinely end up believing it. There are going to be some people who just end up kind of like having that kind of opinion of the PlayStation 5 and are actively holding off on getting it because they don't think there's going to be enough to actually like play on it. Which means like a good lineup on launch is incredibly important so people actually buy your console. Like, I just wonder if, like... I don't know, I feel like the Switch did a good job at saying this is the console to play Breath of the Wild on, more or less. Like, the Switch came out the gates kicking saying, Breath of the Wild is on this console. This is one of the best fucking games released this decade. Because, I mean, bluntly put, in my opinion, it was. Which made the Switch a must-have because of that game, you know? The Switch wasn't a must-have because it was the new Nintendo console. It was a must-have because it had one of the... because, like, it had released with such a fucking banger of a game. And that only continued when, like, shit like Mario Odyssey came out. They enticed people on more to get it because of shit like Splatoon 2 and Mario Kart. So people who were like, I do want to play Mario Kart 8, but there's not much else. Not Mario Kart 8. I do want to play Breath of the Wild, but there's not much else. So, like, introducing Mario Kart and Splatoon 2, those are both, like, games you can dip in and out of. I just feel like the Switch had a good thing going with its launch, and I just look at the Nintendo lineup of the past few years and go, can they really beat that with what, like, can they beat that? Is that beatable with how they've been putting out games over the past few years? I'll be honest, my first experience with Breath of the Wild was Wii U. You didn't buy a Switch until at least a year after launch, as you had the game you wanted. That's understandable, but a lot of people didn't have that Wii U, and I think that's like what it banked on. Was like, yeah, there were going to be people like you who just bought Breath of the Wild on the Wii U. But the Wii U sold like arse. That was like its defining feature, was it just wasn't ever that popular of a console. So, a lot of people would end up having to buy the Switch for the new game. That's what I mean. I should have probably referenced, like, that at some point in what I was saying. But, like... I think part of the Switch's success and Breath of the Wild's success was leveraged off the fact that not that many people had a Wii U. Everybody has a Switch. Everybody who's interested in the new Nintendo console has a Switch, except a few people who are, like, very over-invested in specs. And even then, they probably wouldn't buy the next Nintendo console anyway, because it's not going to have modern specs. It's going to have PlayStation 4 specs. It was Smash Ultimate that got you to buy it? That's understandable. But yeah, like, I don't know, like, IMO, if the next Nintendo console doesn't have a strong lineup, that's going to be remembered into its, like, a strong, like, lineup over its first year. That's going to be remembered. If they just try to, like, bank off of backwards compatibility, then no one's going to buy it, because everybody already has the Nintendo Switch. And I guess, arguably, people would want to, like, upgrade from the Switch because, like, their Joy-Cons are drifting and shit. But, like, a lot of people have Pro controllers and shit, so they don't need the Joy-Cons. I just think Nintendo needs must-haves. Because that is exactly what sold the Switch, is must-haves. And I think the Plus got 100 quid off of it. Oh, off the Switch. Oh, understandable. Damn, that's good. I remember seeing Switch OLEDs being sold for really cheap. Like, I wonder how the Switch OLED even did. Like, even sold. Because I don't think that sold well. Because I remember passing by Curry's just after Christmas, and they were being sold for, like, 130 quid. And I got so tempted then and there. It might not have been 130, to be fair, but I remember it being, like, a reasonable price. Good employee of the month back then, so a Curry's gift card. Ah, makes sense. Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, like, I saw Switch OLED models being sold very cheap. And that's just kind of the hype that I think a new Nintendo console would have around it. Well, it wouldn't be. It'd have a bit more hype. But I feel like that would be a similar level of the hype that a new Nintendo console would have around it if it just came out with such an arse lineup. One, like... What was it called? It might have been closer to 200. I don't really remember that much. I just remember I saw it and thought, that is a very reasonable deal, and almost bought one right then. I didn't buy one because I was like, I don't need it. You know, the Switch runs fine. This isn't like an issue with like the 3DS where games are starting to like chug on the regular 3DS, so buying the new 3DS was a good idea. The only game that chugs on, or that chugs to like a bad degree on the Switch is this one, and that's just a game issue more than a console issue. Like, I feel like the new Mario game could be that hard hitter that they need, like, easily, because it's a new Mario game. But I feel like it would need more, is the blunt truth, I think. But I guess we'll find out. I guess we will find out. Possibly, probably this year. Guess it just depends if we actually get a direct this month or not. I got that luck out the gate, and I just haven't had it since. Like, I came out the gate swinging with, like, insane luck, and then just, it instantly went. Kinda devastating, to be honest. But yeah, no, just in general, I can't help but think, like, what could even release this year? But then again, I guess we've got some, like, pretty out-the-box stuff. Honestly, I'm hoping for a new Fire Emblem game. Rumors were saying that there was going to be a remake of Genealogy of the Holy War. In fact, the person who leaked Fire Emblem Engage and got everything right about that also said there was going to be a Genealogy remake soon. So I feel like that's, like... Shadows of Valentia came out more or less the last year of the 3DS. So, like, I'd say a Genealogy of the Holy War remake is, like, on the table, especially with, like, how much it seemed they were hurrying to get the Engage DLC out. Like, they didn't spread that shit out at all, they more or less dumped it all. So I could really see a Genealogy remake coming out soon. Because it's interesting, because apparently they, like, ended up, like, sitting on Engage after it had completed for a year or so. So I feel like a new Fire Emblem game is probably further along the pipeline than you'd expect. Although, who knows, maybe that's also true for the next Zelda game, because the final year of Tears of the Kingdom's development was more or less just streamlining, what was it called? Streamlining mechanics, so you have to wonder if a lot of the other devs were possibly tooling up the Switch 2 Zelda game. But I guess we'll find out. Alright. Who knows, maybe if it is a... Maybe we'll get a new brain training. Maybe that'll be a launch title. Brain training, so cool. It'll probably be Zelda Remaster. Aren't those handled by a different team? Or do we not know? I could see a remaster. Although, what would they remaster at this point? Other than, like, the Oracle of Ages and Seasons, I guess? Like, as well, they're gonna remaster, like, Ocarina of Time? Or Wind Waker? I guess A Link to the Past, maybe. I don't know, like, my thought is just, like, they've already been remastered, like... do games often get, like, a remaster? I guess ends up being my question, like, how likely is it for them to go, here's Wind Waker again? I guess the Kanto games did. But I feel like with Nintendo, you don't really see it that often. Like, Zelda is the only, like, game franchise. Last of Us did it. That is a fair point. But they want to milk all the money out of that game they can, I think. Like, I'm not... At this point, it feels like they're really trying to make more money off of The Last of Us still, you know? Like, they're like, people love The Last of Us! Remake it again! I just wonder, like, unless they're gonna dip back into, like, back into, like, what they've already done, what could be remade. Reckon would be interesting in DS games. That is true, that is a fair point. And wasn't there rumors the new console was gonna have 2 screens? Because if it did, then that would be perfect for DS game remasters. I don't know, I'm not sure on the rumors. I didn't really look that deep into them because I didn't want to, like, get too hyped at something that was just a rumor. I felt it would be smarter to just wait, you know? Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks bundle, but don't know if that would work. Yeah. I mean, nostalgia for that time is at an all-time high, but I don't know how many people actually, like, bought that. Like, how many people, like, would be there to be nostalgic for it, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like Wind Waker and Twilight Princess were the Zelda games that had the most, like, genuine fan investment behind. And Skyward Sword everybody was wanting a remaster of because the other two wanted. Because the other two got them. And they wanted to see Skyward Sword without, like, Wii mechanics. From what I understand. Maybe I am wrong on that. But I feel like those are, like, the 3 big console... No, they're the only 3 console Zelda games, actually. But they're not the only 3 console Zelda games. Since Ocarina. They're the only 3 since Ocarina. Well, you pretty much got every Zelda game day one since Wind Waker. That is understandable, but, what was it called? What? How many people are lining up at how many people are lining up in front of game for Spirit Tracks? Where am I in this situation? Where am I in this situation? Just you. Yeah, I hate to say it, Rob. But I'd be interested to see how well those games could do if, like, as a remaster. How well did Link's Awakening do? But yeah, I think especially as like a console launch, it would probably be a fumble. I could arguably see an Ocarina of Time remaster. Because what, it must have been about 10 years since the last Ocarina remaster. So I feel like that could, like... I could envision that. Or maybe even just a straight-up remake of Ocarina. And I feel like that could be like a system launcher. Link's Awakening Switch, not as much as Breath of the Wild, but did well enough. Yeah. I remember it did, like, extremely, extremely well, didn't it? Because of... I mean, yeah. Maybe they would be inclined to remaster... Maybe they would be inclined to remaster... other Zelda games, just because, like... Not that Zelda was an unpopular franchise before, but Breath of the Wild really shot Zelda into, like, Mario levels of iconography. Like, Breath of the Wild being such a must-have on the Switch really, like, shot up its popularity. I'm pretty sure Link's Awakening did even better because of that, right? So maybe they'd be inclined to try to, like, put Wind Waker and Twilight Princess on, like, a currently selling console. On not Wii U, just because they'd be aware that there's a chance it would, you know, do well. Oh, damn. No shinies again. We got those two, and no more. We nabbed a couple, and now we nab none. Oh well. Alright. Alright, let's get the Tofu Tower sorted. Alright. Yeah, looks like we'll probably end up doing another couple and then Pokidoki for the day. Who knows, maybe our luck will turn now. That would be nice. It's just too bad Skyward Sword's controls are just bad. I really tried this time as well. Just couldn't get through it a second time. That's understandable. I mean, yeah, that's more or less what I heard about it, was just that it had bad controls. It's a shame. It's a bit wobbly, you know. It's not the greatest tower I've ever made. Almost. Almost. You still never played a Legend of Zelda game? It's a pretty good franchise. I've not played through till the end many of them, but gets the CahirLIVE seal of approval. Would recommend trying it out at some point. Right. To be fair, didn't they make a Zelda 1 style test build of Breath of the Wild? Because if they did that, maybe we could get like a open world remake of the first Legend of Zelda. You pretty much finished all of them except Triforce Heroes. Why didn't you finish Triforce Heroes, Rob? What's wrong with Triforce Heroes? Right. Next sparse. Nope. Flight. Okay. Alright. Quick flyby of the path. Can Pokemon spawn behind you? Not sure. I meant like out of camera view, to be clear, not just behind. She doesn't have friends, but it's definitely bad as a lone person. I was more expecting other... Oh no. No, I just heard it was kind of mid. I was expecting that to be the answer. You could have just got a second 3DS and copy of the game. The easiest solution. The Pokemon fan solution. They released 2 games? Clearly, they released 2 games with Pokemon only catchable on one or the other? Clearly Nintendo and Game Freak want me to buy both of them. There's no other way to get Pokemon from the other game than to buy both games. I mean, you do have 2 3DSs, but you wouldn't spend more money on that game. I mean, to be fair, at this point, it's probably like £3.50. I think, in terms of like second-hand video games, I doubt it's worth that much. You technically have 3 3DSs. Yo, that's like a 9DS. Why do you only technically have 3? Is one of them busted? I mean, yeah, I have 2. One of the screens is fucked up though, because I bit it. You know how it is. Don't bite your 3DSs, kids. It fucks up the screen. It's interesting because it's not just like a cracked screen, like, it's like... The screen is still functional behind the cracked screen, but there's this, like, black film that kind of, like, covers parts of the screen and makes it hard to, like, see what's going on behind. But, like, if you angle it right... The R button on your Ocarina of Time 3DS is broken. Ah, understandable. To be fair, I was thinking about getting a new 3DS anyway, when I broke mine. I didn't break it because I wanted a new one, but... It was a good timing, because yeah. Insurance scam. Exactly. I definitely had. You got me. I bit my 3DS for an insurance scam. because my 3DS was definitely insured. I always chuckle with the 3DS, because when the new Professor Layton game was announced, I was talking to my dad about it, because, like, my mum and my dad were big fans of Professor Layton. When that came out, they ended up playing a lot of it. Which is fair, Professor Layton goes incredibly hard. But I was talking to my dad about the 3D one, which he'd only played a bit of. I was like, oh yeah, why? It's a really good game. And then I found out he thought you always had to have the 3D on. He thought the 3D being almost like a necessity. So obviously he got a headache pretty often from it and had to put it down. The 3DS is such a funny console to me because, like, by the end of its lifespan, they were just like, here's a 3DS you can't make 3D. You want? It's not? Yeah, no, you don't always have to have the 3D on. You can turn it off. Oh yes, Virtual Boy Syndrome indeed. There's like a little slider. You can just turn it off. Oh. No, of course you know. I don't know, I thought you didn't. I understand sarcasm most of the time, I swear. Right. Oh, you knew that was a slider, but you thought it was necessary for 3D games? No, 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 no. Some games kind of like not like need it. Some games like are clearly built around the idea you have it like on 3D to like help you do the platforming and stuff. But like you can just turn the slider off whenever on any of them. Again, it kind of fucks with me that like there are some Pokemon games you can play in 3D. Like, that's... we just don't talk about it that much. But you can play those Pokemon games in 3 dimensions. Bloody awesome. I mean, they have to work on the 2DS as well. Yeah, no, exactly. But yeah, it's just funny to me, like, by the end of the 3DS's lifespan, most games just didn't even try. Most games are like, it's not. You can't do that with this one. It does make you wonder about gimmicks to sell consoles. It's interesting because, I don't know, I guess being handheld and portable is technically a gimmick, but it feels like it's just a logical evolution of Nintendo consoles. Because Nintendo always did so well on handheld. But you have to wonder if they kept the handheld markets with the, you have to wonder if they kept the handheld and console markets separate, if Pokemon would have, like, drawn the ire it has today. Because, like... I don't know, I don't think it's a coincidence that Pokemon games started becoming, like... rougher around the edges as it moved to a console. Like, I feel like people always forget that Pokemon was a handheld franchise. And now it's not. Mr. Me, hello, how goes it? I hope your week's been going well so far. Got any shinies recently? Just discussing Nintendo consoles. Obviously, there's rumor of a new one on the horizon. You got your shiny Cobalion? Hell yeah, congratulations! That is very hype. Love a good bit of Cobalion. I remember when I did a Pokemon, I think it was a white playthrough, and I caught Cobalion in like a quick ball. Which is obviously doable, but I mean like as I was playing through it. And your first shiny type null, 448 full odds, yo, that's extremely lucky. That is so lucky. I don't know, I've seen some people go through like hell and back for type null. So that is a very, very good good odds. Right. But yeah, just finished a shiny kitten. I'm guessing you mean Litten line before coming in stream. Hell yeah! No, those are nice shinies. I like the it's a nice like invert color shiny group. Autocorrect, no worries. It gets the best of us. Sometimes when I'm like halfway through sometimes when I'm halfway through a sentence and I notice a spelling error and I like try to delete it, like my phone will be like, "You want every letter of this sentence capital? Okay. You want every single letter here capitalized? Like I can do that." I'm starting to feel like we used up all of our Dunsparce luck last week. Not last week, a couple of weeks ago. So we're getting none today. We got like 2 at the beginning, and none since. Yeah, we're almost halfway through this one, and still none. Womp womp. Or maybe I'm just like building up my luck, and I'm gonna get the triple segment. Would not mind if that were the case. Boing. Alright. I don't know how your luck hasn't run out. I mean, I guess that is good for a living dex. Yeah, not complaining. Indeed. Hopefully your acknowledgement of it hasn't made it realize and go like, wait a minute. What's the longest hunt you've done? You know, I'm going to pitch this to the whole chat. What's the longest shiny hunt you guys have done? Mine was Kyurem, which took me about 12,000 encounters. Which, pretty sure, honestly. It was full odds in black and white too. Oh wait, I've got that. No, it's not. I got that guy. I got that guy here. Where is he? Yeah, this one. This one right here. Right, Tappy Feeny took you like a year, but makes you weren't consistent for a while. Then when you were consistent, it took you like 2 months. That is still a while though, that must have been a lot. Manaphy. I guess that was your longest hunt, but like... No, you did have like a couple of long stints in there, didn't you? to get all... How many did you get? Was it 10? Was it 10 shiny Manaphy you had? Over a year of your life on those guys. I respect the patience, honestly. Although I guess I've almost spent a year of my life on this guy. Like, to be fair, it's not been constant, so it makes sense, you know? Like, I've taken, like, months-long breaks to get, like, this guy. But, about that, yeah. Manaphy is probably the rarest shiny ever. Yeah, no, definitely. I'd say Manaphy over Jirachi just because Manaphy is, what was it called? The method of getting Manaphy is, like, so much more, like, arsey. Which means even if you wanted to hack in to do it, like, you could get, like, a hacked Jirachi pretty solidly, you know? Like, hacked Jirachi, not all that much of a pain to get. But, okay, let me rephrase that. To shiny hunt Jirachi, you need to, like, you can, like, hack it and then just do regular soft reset. From what I understand. To shiny hunt Manaphy, you need a lot of games, yeah. You're not sure where you got your shiny Jirachi. Ah, interesting. I think my only shiny mythicals are Hooper and Zorora. I feel dumb for not getting the events in BDSP when they released. It was just one of those things where, like, I'm like, I should do that, and then I don't. And then it's over. Jirachi's like 10 or 20 minutes a reset. It is? Why is it so long? Be right back, you gotta do something with your buddy and go. Understandable, have fun. You need Ranger, Platinum, Diamond and Pearl, Heart Gold, and Soul Silver. Indeed. I think it can be any of the Ranger games. I think the Manaphy is in multiple of them. Alright. I remember seeing it on the back of my Shadows of Almea box. And maybe my Guardian Signs box as well. Sure. It's interesting as a tie-in mythical, but I guess these days it's not. Obviously, it was like a launch day event Pokemon for BDSP, where you could get the egg at, like, the beginning of the game. Where you could get the egg through Mystery Gift. And, like, now it's just available in Legends Arceus. Like, you can just get Manaphy in Legends Arceus these days. You think the later ones aren't as exploitable, though? Because you think codes are involved? Ah, fair, that makes sense. But yeah, like, what was it called? Yeah, Manaphy's a strange mythical, but I like it when there are, like, weird outliers. Manaphy's a very strange mythical, though, because it's breedable. Because you can get Fiona out of it. Which is messed up. But I guess it's very much in the mythical club of now available elsewhere. First game was save file related, so you could just scum it with the cheat cartridge. Ah, fair. Is that the music gone, or is that the music finishing? Noted. Okay. But yeah, like, Wait, so the mythicals in, like, the you can get them anywhere club now. You're back? Welcome back. But yeah, the mythicals in you can get them anywhere club now. What is it? It's like Mew. You can get from a new Pokeball Plus, but there probably aren't many of those. And what's it called? BDSP. Semi-Jirachi. Celebi is technically infinitely renewable as well, but it's not, because if you don't have Crystal on the Virtual Console, then you're a bit fucked. Because you need Crystal on the Virtual Console to get Celebi. And then Jirachi's freely available. No, Jirachi's not freely available. Jirachi's available in BDSP. Deoxys is available in Auras. Shaman is available in Legends. Darkrai is available in Legends. And Manaphy is regularly available in Legends. And then so's Arceus. Keldeo is available in Sword and Shield. Meloetta is available in Scarlet and Violet. So, the only ones that aren't are Victini, Genesect, Diancie, Hooper, Magearna is QR code, as you said. So then Marshadow, Zorora, and Zarude. Because Petron is available through the DLC. Oh, you can get Mew and BDSP. Yeah, no, yeah, I've already said most of those. Genesect sometimes in Go. That's true. I guess counting Go, all of those are available. Like, most of those are available in Go as well, aren't they? Is Victini in Go yet? I feel like a lot of the Go mythicals are hovering around. It's just the issue is obviously you can't transfer a mythical from Go to a main series game. You can't transfer a mythical from Go to a main series game. Unless you already have it, right? You need to already have it registered. Victini's in Go, but you don't know how to do the research for it. Ah, understandable. So I guess... I don't know, I'm only going to really count main series games, honestly. I'm not going to count Go on my suggestions. But, what's it called? It's called Yawning. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I wonder what we'll get as the Gen 9 continues and we go into Gen 10. Because it seems like Mythicals, like, being freely available is, like, a new thing that they're doing more. I hope they continue to do it like Meloetta, though, you know? Like, Meloetta's a really cool way of doing it. Meloetta... Manaphy's an interesting one, it's just as compulsory, which is kind of arse. Like, my issue with the Manaphy one is it's compulsory to get Manaphy. You know? Which means you have to do, like, that weird little... following that old story from the CahirLIVE library in BDSP. Like, I think it's, like, a cool idea, but it becomes mandatory to meet Arceus, which is kind of dumb. You can't get any Gen 6 Mythicals yet. No, I've already... Will the Petron event end anytime soon, though? Do we know when that's happening? No, it's just the colours. I don't know, like, the Petron event ending seems weird to me. Because it's more or less the epilogue to the game, right? Like, there's actively, like... It actively ties shit up. So it would feel weird to just get rid of it. I think a new Mythical is out soon. Yeah, there have been rumours. I'd be interested to see if it'll be out soon or if it'll be out later. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if we get it teased, and then it comes out in, like, a year. You can get the thing for it even without the DLC, which is interesting. Ah, fair, but then you can't do it without the DLC. Ugh. But yeah, like, it just feels like it's a very, like, important part of Scarlet and Violet to me. That event. In my head, it's like a very vital part of the story. Not like in the sense of anything, like, actually important happens in it, but just because it's an epilogue, it ties everything off. It shows that Kieran is, like, doing okay after the story, and it allows you to, like, see Nimona, Arvid, and Penny one last time before the story ends. So it feels a little bit weird to me, the idea that it could become unavailable at some point. It could become lost media. Oh! Love the Gen 9 story so much. Yeah, no, Gen 9 is easily one of the best, best in the franchise. I'd say it's up there with Alola. IMO. My favorite gen is 7. I will always gas up Alola. Yes! Love a good bit of Gen 7. I don't know what it is about it, but I just... No, I do know what it is about it. There's just a lot to love about Alola. I just fell in love with it from the start. Ugh. Like, all the new Pokemon, I don't really think there's any Alolan Pokemon I, like, dislike. And very few ones I feel like, on. You've been playing through Ultra Sun again for your second type null and Poipole, and you didn't realize how good it is. Yeah, no, Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon are... The only reason people disliked Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon is because they released a year after Sun and Moon and they weren't Pokemon Stars. I think that's the only reason people actually dislike. I don't dislike Bruxish. Like, I'm mad at that one time it killed my Primarina. But I don't really dislike it. I think it's a funky and cool design. I thought you disliked Aurora. Did I? Oh, welcome to the stream, Felix. I hope your week's been going well so far. I do not remember disliking Zorora. But yeah, no, I can't think of any Alolan Pokemon I dislike. My favorite mythical. Arceus is a pretty basic answer, but I do like Arceus a lot. No, I like Hooper. Hooper is Hooper. You can tell how much I love Hooper, because I manifested it. Manifested it, you know? That's what that is. It's manifestation. I manifested it. I also have an old Hooper hoodie. It's Tyranitar Tube merch, but it's a Hooper hoodie. But yeah, no, like, Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon are genuinely some of the best Pokemon games, but people don't really want to admit it because Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon were the first time people realized that the Game Freak's habit of re-releasing a game a couple of years after, more complete, was a little bit weird. Which I kind of agree with, but like, I'm not going to slate games like Platinum and Osam, so... That's the only Alolan Pokemon you don't like. I mean, you don't enjoy it, similarly as the rest. That's understandable. I just think it's cool. You know, weird fucking proboscis on its head. I just think it's like a funky guy and a nice representation of like weird fish wildlife, you know? Which I enjoy a lot. You think Drampar is underrated? Yeah, and I like Drampar a lot. I feel like Drampar could do an evolution like Duraludon. But I feel like Drampar wouldn't get an evolution without Turtonator. I feel like Drampar and Turtonator could also get baby forms. Like, in terms of Pokemon that I think deserve, like, baby forms. Because we haven't got, like, new baby forms for any Pokemon since Gen 4, I don't think. And I personally would, give big vouch to Drampar and Turtonator getting baby forms. That is another round with no shinies. That's kind of a shame. Alright, I'm going to go to the toilet quickly. But we'll be right back to do our final round of the Dunsparce hunting. So do be sure to stay tuned for that. I will be right back. And we do be back. Piss GG in Piss G Deed. Alright. Continue. Let's get another sandwich sorted. But yeah, like, that is a thought. Like, baby Pokemon. What Pokemon would you guys like to see get a baby form? I know a lot of people wanted, like, a joint one for, like, Miltank and Tauros. I feel like with Polday and Tauros getting one alone, I feel like that's a less likely event. A less likely possibility at this point. I don't know, it's mostly Pokemon from, like, Gen Forest that I'd, like, think of getting baby forms. Just because, like... Turtonator just because he needs more love. Yeah, no, exactly. I 150% agree with that. Well, let's get some tofu, some salty and sour in here. Trying to think of other ones. Alright. Oh, I'm doing it in the middle instead of on the edge. I'm such a fool. You know what? Tofu Tower is a tower no matter where it is. Can we get it? 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 We can't. Womp womp. Dunsparce deserves a new evolution, not a pre-evolution. I feel like it could get both. You know? I feel like it's, as a Pokemon, it could very much just get, like, both ends of that deal. You know? Like, there's no reason for it to get one or the other. It could just get both of them. I'm, like, racking my brain now. I feel like there should be more Pokemon I could point to and go, like, that needs a baby Pokemon. Because, like, there's also, like, Gen 1 Pokemon that you're like, yeah, obviously. But then again, how obviously? Like, Clefairy and Jigglypuff are both pretty small, so they got, like, smaller guys? Like, what's up with that? Like, that's, like, kind of Munna getting a baby form. But I feel like they're good at making, like, the first stage baby enough these days. They're giving them a babyer form. Would be, like... very funny. Baby Munna. To be fair, I do kind of think that would be fun. I do like the idea of a Munna baby form. I think a Tandemaus. Who am I kidding? Tandemaus. Tandemaus needs one. Tandemaus 10 out of 10 should get a baby form. That is either just the two, like, little mice guys alone, instead of, like, the big mice guys, just two of the little ones, or is, like, one of them, and it's called Mouse. Who am I kidding? It needs to be just one of them called Mouse. Let's be real. Baby Tandemaus. Mouse alone. I think it can just be Mouse. Veluza, I feel like, could get a baby form. You know? Like, Veluza's the kind of Pokemon you'd expect to, like, evolve from something or into something. Same with Dondozo, but maybe not. Because Dondozo's whole thing is how it's linked with Tatsugiri. So it'd be weird for Dondozo to get, like, a smaller form. You do like cute Pokemon, but not a fan of baby forms. Interesting. So you would not be on board with a baby Munna. You hate that Pokemon, Veluza. I feel kind of indifferent about it. It's kind of annoying in the water. I thought it was a Spanish word at first until I saw it. Because, what was it? Kabu? Is always going like, Fulton Veluza! So I just thought it was like some kind of Spanish term that I was unfamiliar with because I don't speak Spanish, obviously. Veluza is the only Pokemon you hate. Like, Veluza is so lame. Why would I want a smaller, lamer version? Or Mouse then. Mouse an orphan? No! Not an orphan. How cruel. Carbu and Kofu are similar names. They are. That's why I got them modelled up. Maybe they're related. You know? Like, if two characters have similar names in, like, a piece of media, they're probably related, you know? Carbu, Kofu. I know they look like nothing alike. But one of them is water and one of them is fire, so... Cubfu. Oh my god! And they evolve into water and, dark types. But if we ignore that... Yeah, you must be like the only Carbu fan in the world, Felix. How does that feel? You're getting so much nostalgia from the Minecraft music in the back. Dude, I'm gonna be honest, I've started a new Minecraft server with friends recently, and I've been having a lot of fun with it. It was only yesterday, to be fair. But I do love a good bit of Minecraft. It's a very, like, chill game. You like Carbu, don't care about Kofu. No offense to that guy. I find it funny how, like, he looks. That's mean. That's mean, Cahir. No, Kofu has a funny design, because, like, he has an eyebrow and then he has more hair above the eyebrow. Which suggests to me that that's not his eyebrow, that's his actual hair that he styled like that. Isn't Kofu the karate guy? No, that's Kubfu. Kofu is, the, what's it called? The water gym leader in Paldea. Alright. I think he's funky. I like how he makes you take a silly picture. Oh, look who it is! Look who decided to show up! Dunsparce. Alright, 13 is an unlucky number, but I've been really unlucky today. So is that gonna cancel out? Is that gonna, like, cancel out so I get one, or, like, what? Alright. But yeah, other Pokemon who could get baby forms. Like, it's a hard category to fill, you know? Like giving Pokemon pre-evolutions. Two wrongs don't make a wronger. Why not? I think, Howlucha, that's an inspired choice, actually. You know, I'm gassing that up. Howlucha definitely deserves one. That is a good pick. I feel like Oricorio could have one. And then it, like, depends on where you evolve it. Like, they kind of stopped doing the dependent on location evolutions. Kind of. Maybe not, actually. I feel like an Oricorio pre-evolution that, like, evolves depending on which, like, flower field it's in, that would be cool. Like, it evolves in the flower field specifically. So it'd be like a little fledgling dancer bird, and I think that would be awesome. Honestly, I'm mostly thinking of Gen 7. Like, Gen 7, I think, is the next... Oh, no, wait. Gen 6 has been getting a... Not Gen 6. Gen 5 has been getting a lot of love recently. So I think we're going to see more love to Gen 6, more than just Hisui and Gudra, over the next generation or so. But, like, Gen 7 has seen nothing. Gen 7 has seen no extra content yet. Like, additional content since it's ended. And I think it should, you know? Because, like... Oh, I remember now. Gen 7 is the only generation to not have a Pokemon get a new form or evolution in a later generation. Gen 6 is close, because it only has Gudra. So it is close, but it has Gudra, so it doesn't count. Gen 7 has nothing. So I think it deserves stuff. What other Gen 7 Pokemon could be given stuff? Could I give stuff to? Decidueye is a swim form. Oh, I'm wrong. Never mind. There is one Gen 7 Pokemon with an extra form, and it's Decidueye. You are correct. I don't know how I forgot about Hisui and Decidueye. So I guess it has about as much as Gen 6. All the same, I don't care about Gen 6, though I want Gen 7 to get more love, so... Oh, Avalugg also has it. Avalugg. So... And Pokeball Magina, but that was in Gen 7. That was in the code. That was in the code of Gen 7. So, like, that's not that new. That was still there. Ashgra Ninja 2, that's a fair point. That's a fair point. Ashgra Ninja and Zygarde are weird ones, though. Because technically they're additional content for Gen 6 released in later generations. But they're also not. They're also not because they're, like, anime tie-ins. And the Gen 6 anime had both of those. Ashgra Ninja is Gen 7. Ashgra Ninja is only in Gen 7. In Gen 9, Battle Bond now only... It's basically a buffed Moxie. I think Sandygast would be a good one for a regional variant. Dude, it would. That would be so good. I 100% agree with that. It could have, like, a funky different evolution as well, I think. Instead of Palisand. Convergent form that is snow. Convergent Sandygast that's made out of snow instead of sand. And it's like an igloo guy instead. Komala definitely needs an evolution. We need to work for Game Freak, yeah. We should all send our CVs all at once. Alright. I entirely zoned out because the cat jumped down from the windowsill and I got distracted by her. Ice Fairy Sandygast. I think still Ghost type, honestly. IMO, still Ghost type, because it's still getting possessed. It's like possessed snow. Canadian Home. You used to dislike it, but it kind of looks like your cousin's baby, so we're good now. Sandygast? Kamala, yeah, there. I just like causing problems. But yeah, Kamala deserves an evolution. I agree with you there. William, hello, how goes it? I hope your week's gotten off to a good start. Get any shinies recently? We're hunting for Triple Segment Dudunsparce today. Maybe it possesses a Vanillux. I feel like that'd make it a Vanillux Convergent form instead of a Vanillux regional form, rather than a Sandygast Convergent form, though. Yes, you got one today on accident. Hell yeah, what was it? I like causing problems. I know your CV is getting accepted immediately. Yes. Alright, I feel like Persimmon and Oranguru could also go with something new as well. I feel like maybe 2 baby Pokemon instead of like 1 linking them though, you know? Like they both get baby forms instead of like getting like 1 baby form. Because they do always come together, Persimmon and Oranguru. Were they in the Sword and Shield Pokedex or were they only in the Isle of Armor? Excadrill? Hell yeah. Excadrill is one of those subtle shinies that I think goes hard. I like the blue. Parasect form where it's happy and not a zombie. No, you just want more shit like Slowbro. That's fair, that's fair. Where, like, it's 2 different Pokemon interacting. Yeah, it's weird how, like, little we've got of stuff like that. Like, the closest thing we've got to Slowbro, I think... It probably isn't. I'm probably forgetting something important. But, they're in the forest with Sinistea? Ah, interesting. So they are. I find it funny that Persimmon and Oranguru are one of those Pokemon that have been in every generation since they released. Like, the main game of every generation. Because, like, not every Pokemon ends up being in the main game of the generation every generation since they released, you know? Like, Lucario is one of the few other Pokemon to kind of hold that title. It doesn't quite hold that title, because of Black and White, but I feel like Black and White can be, like, passed up upon for Black and White too, in considering it is a Pokemon in every generation, because, like, no Pokemon were in Black and White. You know what, yeah, I guess we can count, like, Usum as well. In fact, if we count Usum... Pikachu isn't, actually. Nor is Eevee. Pikachu and Eevee are, surprisingly not. Pikachu isn't in Gen 5 at all. You cannot get Pikachu in Gen 5. You can get Eevee in Gen 5, though. You can't get Eevee in Gen 3. Eevee is entirely absent from Gen 3. Do I have a shiny Litten? I do not. It's a nice shiny. I should shiny hunt it at some point, but I don't have one. Wait, that's so dumb. It's the mascot. I think that was the point. I think that was the point of why they didn't include it in, what was it called? Yeah, I think that's why they didn't include it in, Gen 5. Because they deliberately wanted to have it absent. And Eevee, on the other hand, wasn't really a mascot in Gen 3. I don't think it had become, like... I don't think it had gained its notoriety by Gen 3. Like, I assume. In the anime, everyone's like, wow, I should have a Pikachu, that's so rare and exotic. Right? They are. It's so funny. You called it Anger. Hell yeah. Anger Lilith, and I like that. But yeah, Magnemite, however, Magnemite is in at least one game in every generation. Magnemite has not been absent from a single generation. The closest it got to being absent, I think, was... It wasn't in Diamond and Pearl, but it was obviously in Platinum. Because of Magnezone. but Magnemite has not been out of a single regional Dex. Except Diamond and Pearl, and Black and White, I think. And those are the only two, but again, it's in Platinum, and it's in Black and White too. Like, have you never seen a rat? I wish rats looked like Pikachu, that'd be funky. I don't, I like rats. I'm not a rat hater. Fuck rat haters. I know, it's annoying, because, like, whenever you bring up, like, domestic rats to people, they're always like, ew! Rats? And it's like, fuck off! Domestic rats are cute. Rats are cute. Wish rats are real true, honestly. You're so right. Nidoking was so close. I don't know how to say this, Brugger, but I don't think he was. Yeah, I don't think Nidoking was in Gen 3. Almost certain it wasn't in Gen 4. It was maybe in Black and White too. That was a pretty big Pokedex. It was probably in X and Y. First think of when someone mentions. Oh, okay. What's my first shiny? What's it called? My first shiny was a Bunnelby. I was shiny hunting for Cyndaquil at the time. I didn't get the Cyndaquil in the end. And then my second shiny was Latias. I was shiny hunting for Froakie at the time. I did not get the Froakie in the end. Fire Red and Leaf Green? I wouldn't really count remakes. I mean, like, home generation. Like, the main... I mean, like, the main game of the generation, not remakes. I feel like if you count remakes, it's like, yeah, of course they were in that. You know? Because that's a remake. So you accidentally found shiny Latias while looking for Froakie. Exactly! I got the Eon ticket through Street Pass in Oraz, and I was like, oh, that's so cool. I'm gonna redeem that now. And with a team full of Froakie eggs, I went to go and catch the Latias, and it was shiny. And about 10 minutes later, I saw a deer get hit by a car. You know, it was really lucky. I've got it over here, actually. Where's the guy? Back here, maybe? Yeah, no, back here. No, where's the Latias? Oh, it might be in the main box, actually. Okay, I think this is going to be a Pokemon I look for later. So instead I'm going to show you my level 1 Regigigas. Because I'm a big fan of my level 1 Regigigas. Was it in box 8? Did I just miss it? Oh, it is in box 8. I missed it. No, this is the shiny Latias. Obviously Master Balled, because I was like 13 when I found it, and I wasn't going to risk losing it. Honestly, I'd still have Master Balled it today. Alright. That's so good in this game. Oh, it is? Because it's yellow with green eyes like Bianca? Exactly. That's why it's called Bianca. Because of that. There's no other reference there. Not at all. But yeah, the first shiny I hunted for was Roltz, which I got. How long? The sandwich? About 6 minutes. And then I will do all the evolving. And after that, it'll be time for Pokédoku. I love a good bit of Pokédoku. What was it called? And yeah, my second shiny was Quillfish that I hunted for. It was a shiny Quillfish. Which I got through chain fishing. Did I move that up? I think I moved that up. It might be on this game, it might not be. Who knows, life's a mystery. I'll have to check in a bit. Obviously not Hisuian though, so no shiny Overquill. Womp womp. Like, that's the one thing I find a shame about in the sense that, like, Pokemon get, like, regional variants and evolve. Is we're not going to get, like, those evolutions for the regular forms, you know? And, like, especially since it seems like they're very reluctant to give us regional variants outside of DLC. It begs the question whether we're going to see Pokemon like Overquill or Mr. Rhyme in a main game again. Think you're going to do some more Celebi after stream? Hell yeah, best of luck. Right. Have you got all of the other... Oh yeah, I know Overquill's in the DLC, but I'm saying Overquill is only in the DLC, you know? Like, are we going to see Pokemon like that outside of DLC? Because, like, so far we've only seen regional variants appear in DLC, not in, like, main game. But I don't know, I just worry that we're not going to see, like, regional variants in, like, the main game of... Like, old regional variants in the main game of... games. I think we will, but the only way to get them is transferring or trading with an NPC. Yeah, no, exactly, and that's a bit... that's lame. I think that's lame. Because, like, there's no reason that Vulpix can't live in the snow elsewhere. Yeah, I'm aware about the Berserker you get from trade. But yeah, like, there's no reason that, like, Diglett in other volcanic regions don't also get the little hair on their head. Because, like, Diglett appear everywhere anyway, Vulpix appear everywhere anyway, you know? People say Alolan Executor is how Executor's meant to look. So why can't Alolan Executor evolve in other temperate regions? Temperate might not be the right word, but oh well. In other hot places. In other places you find palm trees. Like... what was it called? Did I ever get Shiny Cleavor? I did not. I got no shinies that entire stream, which was genuinely kind of a shame. I will have to do that hunt again, but I do want to get to Dunsparce and Minccino out the way. Because, it's almost been a year of hunting those guys, and that is a while. IMH. Oh my, I almost missed you. Womp womp. When's the next Acrosma? Okay, so this weekend, Greg Tower Defense releases, and that is a game my friends made, so I'm going to play that this Friday. If we get another 7-star raid next week, then I'll probably end up doing that. If not, I'll probably do it next week. But that'll depend on if there's another 7-star raid. Would highly recommend checking out the game on Friday anyway, though, because my friends put a lot of effort into it, and I'm really looking forward to playing it on stream. Alright. What's it called? It is Greg Tower Defense. Greg with 2 G's. Let me get the link up, because I can pull up the link. I should have probably made a command for it, and I will make a command for it before I stream it. But for now, I can just give the link. Bada bing, bada boom. Alright. Defend the sausage rolls. Indeed. Alright. But yeah, I'll be playing it on Friday. But would highly recommend wish listing it in the meantime. Alright. Like, can you, like, do alternate? I never realized you could do that. It's like reboosts. That's cool. I like that. I wish I knew on a playthrough. I'll play through it again at some point, to be fair. And I doubt it makes you go that much faster than just, you know, actually being boosted. Oh. Womp womp. The hunt is over for the day, but stay tuned. Oh, we did get to it. It's just in the other box. Alright. Let's get Hyperdrill on these lads. And then get them evolved. Alright, 114 encounters. This is the 113th and 114th. Now, I've been unlucky on this hunt, and 113, well, 13 is an unlucky number. Will that cancel out? Will that cancel out and maybe I'll get a triple segment? No, that won't happen. That's not how it works. Womp womp. Alright. And the Dunsparce number 2 is not. Oh well, I tried. Maybe next stream, maybe next stream. I don't have confidence in that sentence, I'll be honest, but maybe next stream. And now we do some Pokedoku. Because I love a good bit of Pokedoku. You'll get it soon. Hopefully, hopefully. Fingers very crossed. Fingers so crossed that the knuckles are white. Alright, let me pull up my stuff for some Pokedoku. Love a good bit of Pokedoku. Basically, we gotta match... Basically, we gotta match up the types. So, like, a grass and steel type is, for example... Am I gonna commit to this? Maybe I should go for Johto steel type instead. That's a more easy thing to commit to. What Johto steel types are there? Is it just Steelix and Skarmory? Because Jasmine uses, like, nothing. Don't tell me the answers is the point. Don't tell me answers until I filled in a category. Let's go for the other categories first. I feel like steel... Like, I can think of a flying steel type, and I can think of a grass steel type, and I can think of Johto steel types as well. Caesar is a steel type. I'm so stupid. How could I forget Caesar? You know what? Mega Caesar. That's who I'm going for. 5.5. You love to see it. Well, 5.8, sorry. Alright, let's go for Final Evolution, Flying and Grass. Caesar regular is technically a Final Evolution. From Johto. 2.8? Rob's boy is doing well. Our boy is doing well. You messed up on that one. Oh no, did you get one wrong? Alright, Final Evolution Flying and Final Evolution Grass. You two use your boy in this? Hell yes. Alright. Yeah, let's go for a later generation as per usual. I'm not sure if Esperathra is flying or not. Do not tell me the answer. Killer Wattrel, obviously. No, but Fortress was 10% more than that. Oh. That's not that bad, though. That's not that bad. I'm probably going to fumble worse at some point, let's be real. Alright, Flying Final Evolution. I feel like maybe Sword and Shield is probably, like, the 8th generation is probably a better place to go. Hisui Bravery, maybe? Obviously Corviknight's going to be a pretty high one. I don't think... Yeah, Mega and G-Max forms are excluded from this. So we can't put those down. There's probably more flying types than Sword and Shield, though, right? That's not just going to be Corviknight. What are the other ones? Like, it's like I know there's definitely more, but I just cannot think of them. Eldegoss isn't. Eldegoss is just grass type. Oh, Cramorant is not an evolution. So Cramorant does not count. Part of me's like going back to Killer Wattrel. I wonder if Killer Wattrel might do well. Because like the other place I'd look is like Gen 6, but I don't think Gen 6 is a much better generation for new flying types. So I might just go Killer Wattrel. I'm gonna go Killer Wattrel. Because it's that or Driftblim. 3.1. That's pretty solid, honestly. That's pretty good, I think. And then grass type final evolutions. Do I just go straight for Eldegoss? I might just go straight for Eldegoss, you know? Like, why fucking beat around the bush when I could just go for Eldegoss and get 1.1%? You put Swan at 1.4. Oh, Gen 5 gets surprisingly low. Alright, and then no evolution line, Flying, Johto, and Grass. Okay, Cramorant obviously works there, but is Cramorant going to be a good suggestion? Most of the bug flying were really low there. Of course. I should have thought of that. Part of me wants to go with Cramorant for no evolution line, but then part of me is like, what if I went with like Iron Jugulis? Would Iron Jugulis get better than Cramorant? Or would Iron Jugulis be like a worse choice than Cramorant? How foolish can I be? I want Squawkabilly White Plumage, actually. 1.9! I should have gone for a different colour. Johto, no evolution line. Oh, that's not that easy of one, maybe. I mean, like, Raikou, Entei, Suicune, Ho-Oh, and Lugia, technically. But I feel like those aren't ones I want to put. Like, I'm guessing Pokemon like Sudowoodo. The other flying types got 0.3! How did I choose the one? I guess I chose the one that got the most because everybody chose that one. Oh, Minior! Oh, of course! Okay, Rob is really good at this. I thought you meant the other Squawkabilly's got 0.3, and I would have cried. I should have gone for Minior. Okay, Johto. No evolution line. That feels like a hard... There's 8. There's 8 Minior? Or 8 Johto no evolution lines? Alright, I guess Celebi also counts. Just need to look out whenever Minior is possible. That is fair. I should do that. I should have thought of Minior. I'm such a fool. Oh well. Hindsight's 50-50. Pokemon must originate from this region and exclude... I'm going to put Celebi. You see, now I see Delibird, and I'm like, oh, of course. I'm going to put Celebi. 7.2 is pretty solid. And finally, grass types with no evolution line. Oh, I know! Celebi! Alright. Grass types with no evolution line. Tropius, obviously. Tropius, obviously. Anyway, there's probably like 7 in Alola, let's be real. The issue is that the only Alolan grass types I can think of are the ones that actually have evolution lines. Like, so many Pokemon in Alola have no evolution line, but now I'm, like, on a question with, like, a no evolution line Pokemon. I entirely fumbled the Alola category, and I continue to fumble more. Comfey isn't grass type. Goldgeist is always a go-to for you. Yeah, no, it is. It is for me as well, whenever I actually see it. No evolution line grass types. Obviously Tropius. And then... Iron? Leaves! 2.8, that's pretty high, actually. Did not... No, your grass psychics, that didn't look like crossed out grass steel. I feel like there's got to be more grass steel than just Ferrothorn. And Ferroseed, though, right? Maybe? I remember that one time I thought they were bug, and I died inside a bit. I'm gonna put Ferroseed. 35! Uh-oh! Uh-oh! Flying Steel type. I'm gonna go with G-Max Corviknight. 16, that's a bit better. Okay, I got what? I got 77. You went Katana! Yeah, no, Katana was the best option there, wasn't it? Ferroseed was in fact the highest option, and Ferrothorn wasn't much lower. So Katana would have been the better one. What did you get, Rob? Ninjask, Minior was the lowest there. All of the Miniors were. Oricorio was lower. I was talking about Oricorio today. Cramorant was lower than Squawkabilly. You got 71. Shit. Calyrex was the lowest one here. That's fair. Zarude was lower. Iron Leaves was like pretty low, but 69. That's the funny sex number. Anyway. Mega Caesar being the lowest here is pretty peak, honestly. Zoomer was the lowest here, though, which is interesting. Because Caesar was pretty high up. Alright, I tried. Last time you trust Fortress. I never trusted Fortress. Fuck that guy. Anyway. Thank you all for coming. I hope you've all had a great time. I certainly have. Shame we didn't get it this stream. The numbers are certainly getting up there at this point, which is concerning, but much ado about nothing and whatnot. But yeah, what's it called? You also got the Corsola, of course. Of course, Salah. But yeah, what's it called? Thank you all for coming. I hope you had a great time. I certainly have. Next stream will be on Wednesday. We'll be continuing on with our Pokemon White version, where we can. It's the treadmill challenge, where when we catch a new Pokemon, we've got to take the oldest Pokemon on the team and get rid of it and replace it with the new Pokemon. Would highly recommend joining for that. We'll be heading up to Elisa's gym, so we'll probably do her and Clay, unless anything gets in the way. But yeah, I hope you all have had a great time. I certainly have. And I will see you all on Valentine's Day. Goodbye and good night.